Welcome to this week's episode of Campbell and Jones Meet the Monsters, the podcast we chart the cinematic legacy of the classic monsters. I'm John Campbell. With me, as always, Brendan Jones.
Hey, John, maybe we should rename our podcast just for this episode.
Okay.
And it should be, I've got a couple ideas. One is
All right.
Campbell and Jones and Bonnie and Clyde meet the monsters.
There you go.
Briefly.
It was a brief encounter with a monster.
We could call this particular episode, You've Got a Friend. Or many. Or a few.
Hey, boy, yeah. This starts off our whole podcast about the filmmaking family of the Friends.
I actually there are two things I will give this thing credit for, because this is a local effort. This is a family-made film.
Quite literally, yeah. This is a
from
family.
St. Louis,
Yeah.
I believe, or where the Friends are from.
Yeah.
And them and their friends, obviously, had a good time. It looks like they probably had a great time doing it.
Everybody was having a lot of fun. That is very clear. This is not the case of a lot of movies we watch where people are just phoning it in because whatever, who gives a shit. These are people with some passion, but not a lot of talent.
I guarantee you that they probably had as much fun making this movie as Arch Hall Jr. and friends did making EGA.
Yeah.
However, I will say this one is not funny bad enough to be... this would not be an MST3K.
No, it's... This falls into the category of baffling more than funny. There's a lot of stuff in it where I just go, what?
Yeah.
It's awkward, right?
And I will give it slight credit before we even get in. I thought some of the dialogue was pretty well written, and I thought that some of the... that's not about storytelling. The storytelling is...
Well, I mean, there's a lot of like I don't understand a lot of story moves.
And there's some local actors here who aren't terrible. They are local actor good.
There's a couple people that are ringers of sorts, right? Like,
yeah,
I mean,
and your big ringer is Tiffany Shepis, who I've always liked, and I'm glad that she has eventually kind of risen from the D movie mire to get solid work here. She's
and
on
there, Star Trek,
including, as we pointed out before, she's on Picard, and
dude,
it's not like a cameo, she's a character.
She's in 5 episodes of Star Trek Picard? I mean, that's pretty good.
And that is most likely, I'm guessing, because someone involved was a fan, and they're like, no, she can actually act. It's just that all stuff she does, because you look down, and it's like, oh, okay, great, yes, Axeman at Cutter's Creek is...
Yeah, well, I will say, it's not a great sign that, like, right after she does Star Trek Picard, she's in something called Slasher Size. So, I mean...
Yeah, so she hasn't really climbed out.
But she's in the realm of... There's a lot of people like that, right, who from Z-grade stuff that, because probably they just audition for a lot of stuff, or, like you're saying, people have seen their things, they get a shot at being in, some real deal television or a small part in a major movie here,
She has no reason to be ashamed, and she has completely owned it her entire career of being like, oh, in that pond, I am a big fish. And it is true. It's like, she's not.
Well, I see here. All right, I have a... welcome to Solving Mysteries of Why People Are Cast in Things. She also did an episode of 12 Monkeys, which was also Terry Metalis, who then ends up a showrunner on Picard.
There you go.
So I think that may be where the connection there. And I'm guessing Canadian actor, Canadian show.
He will be the fan.
Yes.
Who is like, oh, I will bring her in.
I would guess so.
Because she is talented.
She is, and she's doing the best she can in this movie. I will say, she's not bad in this, but boy, the way they write Bonnie is interesting.
Well, here's the thing. When I say some of the dialogue is well written,
Yeah.
some of the dialogue is well written, but at the same time, I'm sitting there going like, oh, so they came up with the tack, the one idea for each character, and then it becomes repetition land. It's like Bonnie will say the same things and complain about the same things for the entire movie. Clyde will be exactly the same way for everything. Yeah. It's like, oh, I know exactly how they're going to be. And Annabelle is...
Well, I will say, I think Bonnie here is much better than Clyde. I was not particularly drawn to the performance of this dude. We should tell people, if they haven't figured it out or read it, we are talking about one of the. Okay, this is. We were just talking beforehand about the thought process that goes into picking these movies, and it's ever evolving. We're ever trying to figure out how to, because especially as we move forward and camera equipment gets cheaper, there's many more of these movies. So there. So that's sort of the thing about how do we not...
We're going to have to be a little selective.
A little selective. So my process now in choosing these, because basically you were kind of pulled along for... You toss stuff in, but in general, I'm the one who does the research to find these things. But there has to be some sort of take or... interesting spin on when it comes to low budget stuff. Big budget stuff, we're in for anything.
Right.
But lower budget stuff, where we're determining straight to video or cable made stuff, there needs to be someone in it or some sort of take. And this was a case where I knew this was going to be bad. But how could we not talk about Bonnie and Clyde versus Dracula? You know what I mean? Like, that's just sort of
a title, if nothing else, that draws you in. And another, I'm going to give it a little bit of credit. I've never seen it before.
Yeah, no,
but
me
I've
neither.
always liked the poster.
Oh, sure, yeah.
The reason I liked the poster, and so I had seen it, and I was like, well, that sounds batshit crazy, and I've never bothered to watch it until now. Thank you, John.
Yep, I'm here to help.
The poster is not amazingly done.
No.
But it has this graphic novel-ish, comic bookish feel.
Yeah.
Where they're like literally just throwing you in like, no, it's exactly what you think.
But I would say the biggest problem is that that's not what the movie is.
Yes, it's not at
I
all.
wish they made this movie.
High concept title, and they don't actually give you what you're expecting.
I was talking to a friend of the show and frequent guest Elliot Lewis about this, and I said, boy, I bet you're jealous you don't get to watch Bonnie and Clyde versus Dracula. Elliot goes, that actually sounds pretty rad. I'm like, I don't think it is going to be. But I agree. When you tell people that, they go, well, that sounds nuts. I bet that could be kind of fun.
Yes.
And it could be kind of fun. But this movie almost... It's so crazy. Because like I said, I do think it's made with with a lot of passion behind it and a lot of let's get everybody together and have a good time. However, at every turn, this movie eschews fun. It can't... It's being...
this is a movie that doesn't know what it wants to be when it grows up.
Right.
Because there are moments where you're like going, pick this tone and do the entire movie that way.
Yeah.
And I mean, every time we're back with our elephant manish
Dr. Lovelace,
Mad Dr. Lovelace.
Yeah.
And his
how do we say this?
Mentally challenged younger sister, Annabelle.
A bold performance.
And she is winning just because she gets all the comedy, which is not...
And she's cute. Like,
cute.
The performance is cute. It saves a lot that it's a cute child. It's a very... They want to play her as very childlike. And I think she goes
the point of how innocent she is, and she's pure of heart.
Right.
But so anytime they do that, when they go there, the tone is you're like going, do the entire movie in this tone, then it becomes a admissible goof of a movie.
The problem with that is those two characters we just mentioned are not Bonnie nor Clyde nor Dracula. So that's what's weird, right? Is how much of this movie is about Dracula. This is like
Dracula
featuring
is the
guest
reason
appearance.
we're doing this at all.
Yeah.
And Dracula is, like I said last night, he's a prop.
Yeah.
He has maybe 5 lines of dialogue.
Yeah.
And
but this director's brother really wanted to play Dracula.
Mm-hmm. And here's the entire character arc he has. I am returned to life. Blood. The sun.
It's true. Just when he gets back to being Dracula, they kill him. Like just when he finally gets to be.
He learns the name of Bonnie and Clyde. There's never anything where he's like going. He does go after he turns Bonnie. Spoiler alert, everybody. He does go like, now she was full of sin.
Yeah.
And so that was delicious.
Dracula likes a bad girl.
Yeah, but how cool would it have been if, I mean, it still makes no sense, but how cool would it have been if Bonnie and Clyde had actually met Dracula? And then he would have been like, oh, you guys are killers. There's no dynamic. It's just sort of like.
Or even what if, I thought about what if, even if they still did the same thing and he turned her, what if then a lot, like that happened early in the movie and then it's Clyde chasing after them, and he's trying to get his girl back from Dracula. I don't know. There's a movie. That's a different movie, but that's something. I can't believe how little a movie called Bonnie and Clyde versus Dracula has Bonnie and Clyde fighting Dracula. It's crazy. I mean, if I cared at all or paid anything to see this, because it is available from the fine folks over at Tubi, who, by the way, need to sponsor this show because we watch
so much.
Like what? 80% of the movies we watch on Tubi.
So much come from Tubi.
It is crazy. I will say I have so much. I love them as a streaming service because clearly their attitude is we'll just buy anything if we can get the license for cheap, right? Like, it is so wild. They are so, it takes me back to the old days of cable, right? When it was just like, I don't know, what can we show? We've got to fill programming.
That is what it feels like you were flipping around and then you're like, really?
Yeah, what is
okay.
this?
Well, sure, let me watch this for a little bit.
Yeah, that's very much what it feels like. And this is totally a kind of movie I could imagine seeing at 1 a.m. going, what the fuck is this?
Yep.
I do want to also spotlight the poster, but how about this tagline, which is, when gangsters meet vampires, there's bloody hell to pay. I want to see that movie. That's not this movie.
That's not a good tagline, but again, it is highlighting what you're expecting.
I will say,
gangsters meeting vampires,
and that sounds awesome. And I highly recommend a comic called The Damned. Have you read The Damned by Cullen Bunn?
Oh yeah,
it's very. It's not. I think there are vampires in it, but it's just like gangster, old like Prohibition era gangsters, but they're all the gangs are different monsters.
Chunk of American Vampire.
American Vampire.
That covers similar stuff.
Brian Azarella's Moonshine is gangsters with werewolves, but I also recommend that people should check out Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Riso, who are a great duo.
Again, that's
it's a great aesthetic to put on it, right? Like those two things can mesh very well together, is what we're saying.
I kept thinking like another miss on this would be not that it would have made it much better.
Yeah.
But we're going with a very standard stock horror theme music, but I was like going, where's all the 20s kind of ragtime stuff?
And that stuff wouldn't cost them anything. A lot of that shit's public domain, or at least
but we do get I think a very good, probably again local St. Louis. There's one song in it, and it's actually quite well done, and it's in the period, and I'm like, oh, that's great. And then I'm like going, but where did they find the money for that? And I can only assume it's like, my friend has a band and they do 20 stuff. Well, okay.
Everything in this movie is, we know a guy who owns old cars. We know a guy who,
Yes.
we know a theater that has old-timey costumes.
Wait a minute, you have a Model T? Well, I bet I could write a movie for it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
but they meet Dracula because my brother loves playing Dracula.
There you go,
great.
exactly, right? It's like it is almost like the Friend family argued about whether to make a gangster movie or a horror movie. They're like, why can't we do both?
Well, I will say it is almost completely a Bonnie and Clyde movie, though a very lame and not.
Well, that is the problem.
And
the Bonnie and Clyde side of it is awful.
It's just
because they don't
repetitive.
it's repetitive. Even though I think Shepis is a decent actor, they're both miscast. They're both too old. Number one.
Yeah,
that's I mean, particularly Clyde looks like he's pushing 50 in this thing, man.
Similar to the best Bonnie and Clyde. Similar to that, they're both too attractive. I mean, even though the guy's older.
And I would
get into historical accuracy. It's like Bonnie was not a hottie.
Oh, I've recommended this before, and I don't think you have seen it. Have you seen The Highwayman with Kevin Costner?
Mm-mm.
I love this movie. I talk about this movie all the time. People are like, "Shut about the Highwayman."
The one where he plays
Frank Hamer, the Texas Ranger who killed Bonnie and Clyde. But Bonnie and Clyde are at the fringe of that movie because it's about the posse hunting them. But when you do, they never show their faces until the confrontation at the end. And when you see them, they're the two goofiest looking kids. They look like awkward kids. And I'm like, shit, that's what they would have looked like. We never see them because they build up this mystique around them, and then when you actually see them, you're like, "Oh fuck, they're just like dumb punk kids."
Well,
I love that take.
A valid way to do it because they,
that whole movie is demythologizing them, right? It is about they were fucking murderers that these guys had to track down.
They were both Hicks, and he was an ex-con, and the thing that
they were in their early 20s when they got killed, right? But
the fact that they were a couple that were doing that, the woman being and the fact that she was writing poems, and leaving them behind.
And if you think about it,
the romanticization.
But what I like about this, when you start putting that realism, you're like, that's so lame, though, too, right? It's like you're out there doing awful things and then being like, but we're escaping and I'm writing poems. You're like, fuck these idiots. The fact that they got played by two of the hottest people in the history of Hollywood in a great movie that, once again, really, I did a lot to mythologize them, rightly or wrongly. Whether or not that was the take on the movie, it was certainly how
it did show
audiences
the stuff they did as being. It wasn't glamorous, but the fact that they were so glamorous, ever, and an extremely lovely actress playing them, you sit there going like, well, if your attempt was to do it straight, you didn't.
Yeah, I also have big problems with the portrayal of Hammer in that way, but that's neither here nor there for this. Yeah. I have issues with just and the Hammer family really had problems with it. Anyway, that being said,
you usually don't care about historical accuracy, but
I don't like. But I don't mind historical accuracy is one thing, but defamation is another thing, right?
Sure.
But the other thing is, I'm not expecting historical accuracy here, but this does veer into that category that we talk about sometimes. When it's like, sure, it's Bonnie and Clyde versus Dracula. How historically accurate? But at a certain point, are they so far away that why are they Bonnie and Clyde?
Yeah.
I expect them to be, them being hot Bonnie and Clyde, that makes sense in Bonnie and Clyde versus Dracula. That's about what I would expect. However, they're both, middle-aged people. I mean, she's not, but he definitely is.
Yeah. And they're doing their Southern / Texas accents to the best of their ability.
Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously, this is a movie that in no way could afford a dialect coach to further get them there, even if they were capable.
Nope. And so you're just having to accept that, okay, this is this movie's version of Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
You're also left.
But they are really just gangster couple, really, right?
Right. And historically, we know very famously how Bonnie and Clyde end up. And
pretty well known.
At the end of the movie, you're like, wait, so when the time comes and they get blown apart in their car,
Yeah.
is that at night? Because how is Bonnie hanging out there as vampire Bonnie?
Yeah. Yeah. God. Well, and
Spoiler,
then
Bonnie is a vampire at the
yeah,
end of
which
it.
I mean,
And he's like, well, we'll make
but
do.
it further adds. So that's what I mean. This whole movie is just filled with like, now wait, what? Like the whole. I just kept going. Hold on, what is this? What's going on here? And then yes, as always, where's Dracula? And also, do they ever even call him Dracula in the movie?
No, they do the fake out.
Yeah, classic. Yeah, classic.
Because his tape recording thing gets
Yeah.
fucked with by his sister. So he goes, "I finally found the remains of the legendary," blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
and then she's singing "Skip to
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, which I was laughing.
Dracula starts this movie.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah, because I mean, the first image of the as we jump into the movie here, as the first thing, my first note says, "Bloody-faced man comes to life."
yeah, it's weird. It's like he's it's like he's in an enormous sleeping bag or just tarps, and
he's had the face-off surgery because his face is just blood.
Yeah, his entire body just seems to be goopy red, and he's like, and you're like, okay, that's the beginning of it.
And then we immediately cut to something else. It's like,
then
all
the
right.
movie decides to do a fake out,
yeah,
because we see a young couple, and I'm like, wait a minute, I mean, because I don't know the actor who's playing Clyde at all, but I know. Tiffany Shepis.
I saw the poster though too, and I'm like, these are not the people that were.
So, but it opens with a different couple in a Model T, and they are also planning like their own kind of like their own.
Well, you want to
scam.
talk immediately about they're hitting they're taking nips from a bottle, and they're talking about they're getting ready for this. And then you want to talk about some of the great dialogue immediately. How about this line right at the beginning? I wrote down a couple lines in the movie that really stood out to me. When he jams the gun down his pants, which is always a bad idea.
Yes.
And the woman even points out that, hey, yeah, that's going to be trouble for you. And he hits her with this classic line, "My pecker's bulletproof."
Yeah, that is a good line.
That is the kind of dialogue we're dealing with, folks.
You know, one thing I like is that that is the last time anyone will use pecker for male genitalia, because the rest of it, I think the writer, or maybe it's a regional thing, but then, or maybe he was trying to be period, but Clyde and others will constantly refer to it as a Wilbur.
Yes, that's right. Which is
it would be acceptable if like only Clyde uses that, because maybe Clyde, since he was a kid, is like going my Wilbur, and but then Bonnie says it, and then Jake, the guy
but it's
at
interesting
the
because I think Pecker's kind of
barn bar
period a little bit, right?
Well, sure, but
I mean, I feel like at least that's like what my grandfather would have called it.
But Wilbur,
Wilbur
is
that's
weird, and that could be a character thing. But then it becomes everyone else is like going, "You better watch your Wilbur," and I was like, "Oh no!" The writer just became enamored of that. So now everyone.
This fake out criminal couple, their bit is they are acting like door-to-door salespeople and they're going to bust in. But what they don't know is that Bonnie and Clyde have already taken this family of this house hostage.
What a flippity flu.
This is crazy. And I got to say, this is far from the first tiny budget indie that's had this. But my God, the Tarantino inspiration in this thing. Dear God, at every turn, there is an attempt to be clever like Quentin, but in a way that's not clever because you're just ripping off one of the most famous filmmakers.
Yep.
I love Quentin Tarantino, but also he did not know what he wrought by just being himself.
Well, I mean, this isn't anything blatantly ripped, and Tarantino,
but an approach is what I mean.
Always, the whole thing with him is him utilizing other tropes, but playing them up in a very stylized
Utilize
way.
other tropes, turn it, the stylization is what's Tarantino.
Yeah.
The end credits of this are so when they do the like pop art of the characters.
I know
Is
that
so
was crazy. Tarantino
is so Tarantino-y, which is, but also it's that thing about like that's Tarantino talking about spaghetti westerns that it's the whole thing. And also another thing where I'm like, I'm sorry, movie, you have not earned doing cool pop art credits of characters I supposedly love. And I'm like, there's the comic book version of
cool pop art of Party Store Dracula, which is just the worst.
Just
thing.
Really further makes it obvious how much he sucks.
They based the Dracula design here on the way he looked in Buffy, which is the long stringy hair Dracula. Or a flowing wig Dracula, and
there's a little bit of
favorite.
Whedon in here too, right? It is sort of that it's in that very postmodern deconstructionist kind of thing, but also not. It's that further thing about this movie. Kind of doesn't know where it wants to play, so there are times when it feels very postmodern, but other times when it's really leaning into the period shit. It's very weird. Anyway,
the tone doesn't settle. The take never congeals, and you keep waiting for the two movies that this is to collide, and they take a long time to collide, and then they don't pay off.
Yeah, I was gonna say they do collide, but it's not satisfying at all for either one.
This is a 90-minute movie where the verses, literally. And you could, instead of verses, you could just say meat as well. And again, that is over an hour into it. Over an hour.
I looked at the timeline or the time code. It was an hour and 3 minutes when Bonnie meets Dracula. An hour and 3 minutes until like a 94-minute movie. Jesus, this thing really drags. They've taken Bonnie just guns these people down.
Oh, here's another thing, and I guess it's budgetary. They are wanting this to be like, yeah, man, it's going to be violent, so hang on to your butts.
Yeah.
And there's some, there probably, I don't think there's any squibs. I think it's
there are no squibs,
digital blood.
But there's definitively no blanks.
Right. So there are literal scenes of bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
And by the way, you must have, being a gun guy, going, man, Bonnie and Clyde wish they had weaponry like that. They had revolvers. They
had... Oh, and I don't think Bonnie and Clyde had a Tommy gun at any point. That was more Dillinger.
They had a shotgun, but it certainly wasn't.
Yeah, like I think about like the poster for the Warren Beatty. They both have 6-shooters.
Yeah,
so
that's
that's what they had. They
bad, not
once again,
45s.
Dillinger and Pretty Boy Floyd had Tommy guns or whatever.
So this
and Clyde's right rocking 245s, that he shoots like 100 rounds from, of course, too.
They're also selective. Sometimes they are like, okay, we'll have gore, we'll have someone gut shot, or we'll do this. But there is I don't know if it's in this scene. I think it's one of the later ones where Bonnie is revealed to be the real like. I'm sadistic, like I'm really into killing people, and Clyde's like, damn, baby.
Oh, that's when she has the razor later with the guys who try to rape her. Yeah.
Yes. But she unloads like an entire gun into a body at one point, and we see the body jerking and hitting the wall and falling down. Not a single hole in the shirt.
No.
And I'm like, hey, movie, you have to at least, if you're going to put the camera on the guy who's getting shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a TV show from the 50s, a Western, where they shoot somebody and they just grab their chest and go, oh, and fall down.
This was very much the kind of stuff I was struggling with in high school when I was trying to make crime stuff, was how do we, and also the other thing, talk about being a gun guy watching this movie, I recognize some of the airsoft guns in this movie. That shotgun they have, we had that shotgun in high school. That was our prop shotgun because it's not period correct. The sights on it are way too modern, and it's just not. That's not right. And his, I hate. And this is I hate the gun. They're clearly all airsoft guns. So when Clyde is shooting his 45s, the slides aren't coming back. And it's not ejecting shells. He's just miming, right. and they put in muzzle flash. But there's no it's not. They're not. There's no motion on them. They're not mechanized.
This movie was brought to you by After Effects.
Brought to you by. But that now see, there's a weird thing where if they had revolvers, that actually would have been better because then it wouldn't have mattered as much because you wouldn't have had a shell being ejected. So that's where they. But they thought, oh, these guns look cool, man, and they do. They look fine in his hand until he fires them. Then they look like shit. And you can get away with that. There's a lot of movies now that use non-firing guns, but they have big effects budgets, and they know to also animate shells coming out and things like that.
And also probably showing some blood.
Showing some blood, That's the thing about, like, you can do all this stuff digitally, but you need you need budget, and you need people who know what they're doing. The other thing is, all the gunshot sounds are so quiet. That's a thing that drives me insane in a lot of low budget stuff where it's like guns are really loud and
one thing
should have an impact in the story even,
there is such, again, an amateur vibe going on. There's the bit when the whole thing is they steal the couple's car that they take care of they keep calling them carpetbaggers, but the con men couple that they off. And by the way, they, true to a Bonnie and Clyde, the farm family, they just wanted their vehicle.
Right.
And they end up taking the vehicle of the younger couple.
Yeah.
They kill them, but the farm family, they don't kill.
Correct.
They basically take their kid for a little bit for directions and then let him go, which is awful sweet. But the thing is that once they do that and they're driving, the thing is, basically Bonnie's always like going, I'm horny and I'm bored and we're not, my dreams aren't being realized and all that kind of nonsense.
Yeah, get ready for that for the rest of the movie.
For the rest of the movie.
Jesus.
But while she's coming on to him while Clyde is trying to drive, he gets distracted when she's like, look at my vagina. That's the actual line. No, it's not, but it's close enough.
She has something about my pink rose. Isn't that what she says?
Well, she's calling him Bud.
Yeah.
And
that's
going,
it. Bro, yeah.
Yeah, and so she's going like, do you like my lips, Bud? Do you like the thing, Bud? Do you like my little rose, Bud? And that's, I guess, her vagina.
And somewhere out of the grave, Orson Welles jumped out of his grave and was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
or maybe Hearst.
And Mankiewicz as well.
Yeah, and a bunch of people rose from the dead about that line.
Yes, because of that line.
Yeah.
But the whole idea is that he's so distracted by that he nearly runs into another vehicle. What I love about this is they didn't have another vehicle.
Nope.
So what they do is they try to cheat the angle of him going like, whoa!
Yeah.
Like, whoa, I'm bare. And you hear on the, like an old like horn.
Yeah.
But that's the most and of course it's like projection outside the window of them driving.
Oh yeah.
But it's like, was that a ghost vehicle they almost ran into? Because there is no visual of another vehicle, but the implication they almost ran into another thing.
Oh man, once again, I mean, watching there is an endearing quality to it because it is made, once again, without the cynicism of some of the stuff we normally have. It's failing and it's not working, but there is sort of a like,
my uncle's got a barn, let's put on a show.
That's what I mean. So there's an and I relate to that as this is all I did in high school was make stuff and a lot of crime stuff. The thing is, I don't do that anymore because I know it looked like shit, well, that's what I'm saying. It's like I
had a realization.
Well, at a certain point, I go like, maybe I shouldn't be trying to make stuff that has like gunfight. Maybe actually make stuff that I could do, which is just like people in rooms talking. But yeah, like, but so I know a lot. It put me back into that mindset of like trying to do stuff with like, how do we convince people of this when we have nothing? And it is stuff like that. But so okay, so as sexy banter as they drive. All right, let's meet Dr. Lovelace and his assistant / sister.
It takes, as we've said, it takes so long into this movie for anything to cross over that it is like we just jumped to another movie.
Yeah.
Somewhere out in the boonies is a mansion, and we see the Loveless family name on the outside of
Which is but where that is in relation to this house?
They're somewhere in Texas. That's the implication. And then we find out that Loveless, and this is like what we said, an hour in, is known to the locals as a doctor.
Yeah.
So that's the thin thread that will eventually lead Bonnie and Clyde to this place. But anyway,
and oh boy,
it is a mansion house out in the boonies, nothing around, and we see a guy wearing
an
burlap sack.
It's an elephant man with the one hole cut for his eye.
The one hole for one eye.
Yeah.
And he's
he's a lot. He's a
lot.
Yeah.
And again, I guarantee that this actor who we never really see because there is a quick shot
Alan
of him in
Lohman is the he also plays the character of Chick in this movie, who I don't remember which one Chick is. But but that also takes me back to my days of going, well, if we put a mask on him as one character, then he can play another character later.
Yeah. And I guarantee you he is around that area. I guarantee you
he's got a lot of credits, but they're all like shorts that you've never seen,
Yeah, he will be considered probably one of the best local actors. Mm-hmm. And that's no slight.
There are guys like that here in Portland, right? I mean, I've been on the fringes of Portland.
Town.
And that's it exactly where you go, like, it's a thing that infuriates me to some extent, because you go like, oh yeah, you're making a movie in Portland. I'll name 4 people who are in it right now. It's like, and it's not that they're bad, but it's just like, like there's one guy in town who is the old man in every movie, because he is the old man you can get.
Yeah, the old man you can get who can at least, memorize his lines and deliver them with some
and played party goer on an episode of Leverage,
It's like when we did was it My Boyfriend is a Vampire? Was that the name of it?
Oh, My Best Friend is a Vampire.
My Best Friend is a Vampire. That's it, right?
Yeah, with Robert Sean.
Which shot in Houston.
Yeah.
And then, that was me going like, oh, look, there's Big Skinny Brown.
Yeah.
Who locally you considered one of the great Houston actors, and a really awesome guy, liked him a lot. And just to see him in there as a cop, I was like, oh, that's great.
I used to have people come and audition when I was really doing stuff, and then having people audition. And it was like, you would just go through everybody's resume, had Leverage, Portlandia, and Grimm. Because they all shot in Portland, right? And so you would just go like, you almost looked like if they didn't have those, then you didn't consider them, right? But it was just like anybody worth considering had those 3 shows, then you go, okay, great.
You never really went out of the house because everyone's been in Portlandia or Grimm.
I was never on any of those shows, but I did audition for Grimm. I had a bad audition for Grimm, which is
was that when you showed up drunk?
It was not my fault. My scene partner tanked it. I stand by. But that's a story for.
But also, when you walked out, you said, "This is why the Jews run Hollywood," and they're like, "Oh no."
That's why they didn't ask me back for Leverage or Portlandia. I've been blacklisted. Yeah, blacklisted in Hollywood or in Portland town. So yeah. Anyway, yes, Dr. Lovelace, who he is going for it in this picture. Alan Lohman is Dr. Lovelace. And yes, his assistant, the very cute Annabelle, played by Jennifer Friend, who, this movie is directed by Timothy Friend. Russell Friend plays Dracula. Like we said, it's a family affair.
Yep.
And she's fine.
Well, the thing is that I
think winning is better.
She's not good, but she's used well because since she is, and this is bad language, don't use this, but since she is what they would have called simple, back in the day,
simple or slow feel like what they would say about her.
She's allowed to be cute for the entire thing.
Yeah,
and so I was at least like, oh, I want to find out. Did she only work in her family stuff? And yes, when you look her up on IMDb, all of it. Yeah. She's in a bunch of shorts that her family did. And then you find out she Well, because I went down the rabbit hole, she is like a very well respected education expert.
Yeah, I do think
she has written books on
yeah.
the
This
state
feels
of
a little
education.
actually that's interesting. That actually feels a lot like my sister and I, where I would just put her in something, but she's a teacher, like that sort of thing where it's like, yeah, I don't think she's really an actress in that.
No, I don't think at all. But it is funny.
It's
to
just
think
like,
of,
but her brother makes
in
things.
her in the professional realm, and I just go, how many of the people that know and respect her in that realm have seen her in her brother's movies?
Well, she also,
I can only imagine they're like,
did you see she also co-wrote one of the brothers' movies?
Oh,
Cadaverella.
Oh,
Cadaverella.
That was where it all started, by the way, back in 2007.
That's where it all started. Written by Jennifer Friend.
And the second project was Bonnie and Clyde versus Dracula.
This was the follow-up. Yeah, this was the sophomore effort.
Timothy Friend, I'm sorry you haven't continued making
this
great
is
films.
This is about it for him. He made one short after this in 2013. Has not worked again in any kind of film that's IMDb worthy, I guess. So
I guess that's true, because Jennifer Friend did in fact end up in something in 2016 fairly recently that wasn't made by her brother.
Somebody saw this and said, impressed. She's pretty cute, to put her in this.
Yeah,
The Witching.
The Witching.
I
haven't seen it. Whatever.
Well, I haven't seen it because I don't know anyone I don't know. She's the only cast member I know in it, which is
and we have this movie to thank for us knowing the career of Jennifer Friend.
Yeah.
But yes, Annabelle is a grown woman, but she
has the mind
lives
of
in a childlike world.
Yeah, kind of.
She does.
She's like a dark Pee Wee Herman.
A lot of Gilda Radner's.
Oh yeah. Yes.
But that character on Saturday Night Live was actually a child, just there was a grown up playing her.
Right.
But the whole thing of like putting on her own shows, I was like, oh, that's very much so.
Very much so.
Like,
yeah.
It's the Annabelle show. She listens to old radio, and she's got pulp magazines, and she dresses up in costumes.
Yeah.
So basically, Loveless is using her as his slave.
But he also
and if she disobeys, he shocks her. She has a shock collar.
Treating her like shit. And in a way where at a certain point, not only, of course, is it just cruel, but there's a certain point where it's like, dude, I don't know what you expect out of her. Like, she's your sister. You know what her limits are. So the idea when you're like upset that
you have to work with me.
We have to do that now. That quote has to come into the show
every time.
But no, it does. It is a certain point where it's like, man, where it's just like, why didn't you remember to do this? Or it's like, dude, you know what her deal is? Like, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you're a piece of shit, obviously, but like, are you also an idiot? Because
yes.
Yeah, and then later he's just gonna kill her. Are you plans to, right?
Oh yes, he plans to. When finally she is so incompetent and he can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
He also relies on her for something called the process,
which never gets explained. Right? His whole deal never really gets explained.
Never gets explained.
No.
We do get the impression that. Because we do listen to one of his tape-recorded things.
Yeah.
He has sought out Dracula, resurrected him, basically.
Right.
And this is making it sound better than it is. I think Dracula has a better through line and representation in House of Frankenstein, and he's basically a cameo in that.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about still weirdly one of cinema's best versions of Dracula's in fucking Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, which is still insane to me. But he's better represented in that total goofball picture.
But basically, he's brought Dracula over to America, found the remains, and resurrected him because the healing properties, I guess, of being a vampire is what this guy needs. Because Loveless,
because there's something wrong with him.
Is something? Is he a mutant?
At a certain point, he has to be flushed of goo.
That's the process, and he's like, Annabelle, you need to help me with the process, and the process is basically inserting tubes into a fake version of his chest, which it's supposed to look gross, and
it looks about as good as the family's haunted house that they put up for Halloween would look. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. She puts tubes in that sends some sort of liquid or something into him and then flushes out possibly waste, and it is gross, and you're like, and Annabelle just goes, I hate the process.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sister, I'm with you on that. I also hate the process.
Well, I any disdain for anything happening in this movie I can get on board with.
Yep.
But Jesus. So yeah. Meanwhile, Bonnie and Clyde have decided to hole up in a field and smoke some reefer, as they call it. They literally have a line once again. She's just like, "Boy, I sure do love this reefer." And you're like, "Yeah, I get it. It's the past."
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's great.
When
though, wacky weed or anything like that, but yeah, okay.
A little wacky tobacco, folks. The devil's lettuce.
The devil's lettuce. The plant with the roots in hell.
There you go. Well, I guess these people don't care for it because some hillbillies roll on them. Oh, what you doing here?
Yeah, it's like, what you doing here? And, oh, she's awful cute. She's a hottie.
They got shotguns. They got those same fake shotguns.
Them, you guys are idiots and da-da-da. You're a bunch of rednecks, and then they kill them.
Yeah, well, one of them tries to, sexually assault Bonnie until she pulls a razor blade out of her stocking.
Yeah, she's got a straight razor in her stocking that she stole from the con woman at the very beginning, and slashes the guy.
And they show her repeatedly slashing and the blood hitting her. And once again, we're supposed to go into like, what is like the movie's trying briefly to be like artistic in its portrayal of psychopathic joy of murder.
The other guy and does the same thing.
Yeah, and it's bad, but Clyde's like, oh, boy, baby, you crazy. And then we see them start going at it in a car because that does it for him, man.
Yeah, honey, the way you killed those two guys was so hot. Let's have sex in a car.
Meanwhile, once again, we cut back to Loveless then because just two different movies are happening, and at some point we hope they may be the same movie. And we now see a random woman that we don't know being thrown into some sort of dungeon-like area with what we will come to know as Dracula, but at this point it's just sort of a shadowy figure with fangs.
Yeah, and bald. I think they're trying to do, and they're trying to do that thing of, oh, he's slowly, with every victim, he's healing. So here he still looks gross and bald.
Which is a thing I like, but, when it's done with makeup and like Coppola's movie, right? Like when he's all decrepit and old and weird, and then he becomes sexy Gary Oldman.
Yeah, that never happens here. But
no, Gary. Sorry, folks. Gary Oldman never appears in this movie, sexy or not. He neither looks like early '90s Gary Oldman or Slow Horses Gary Oldman. The sexiest Gary Oldman, by the way, is what I meant by that. Yeah,
very. But here it is. This woman's thrown in. She's the food.
Yeah.
And what's strange is she's speaking another language, and I was thinking, well, if it's Texas, maybe they found, a Hispanic woman.
Somebody from, over the border, yeah.
But no, it sounds almost like she's speaking Balkan or something that would fit with his background.
Which makes no sense.
Dracula's. But I'm like, well, where would she...
Because we'll later come to find out that Loveless has bought the entire whorehouse, right? Is the thing. He's bought out all of the prostitutes of the local brothel as food for Dracula.
Which is also a very canny thing to do, filmmaking-wise, because when they go to the brothel, it's just an empty barn. and you're like, oh, well, the excuse was exactly...
There's a lot of...
we ain't got no girls no more because the doctor bought them all.
The doctor bought them all, and presumably this was the last one of them left, so we don't have to see any more than this one woman anyway. Mm-hmm. Because, yes, Dracula drains her and then says, more.
Oh, yeah. I must have more.
Yeah.
I will say this for our Dracula.
That sounds like Dracula.
Friend.
Yeah.
Again, there's no wink.
No.
He is doing deadly serious work as Dracula. Yeah. It's just terrible.
Well, it's not. There's not an. I mean, it is terrible, yes, but also there's not enough here for it to have even been good. He is bad, but even if somebody had been good, it wouldn't have mattered.
That's very true.
I think that's also key. So still want it known, though. He's still terrible in the part.
Yep.
So
and when we finally get a full reveal, it's embarrassing.
So
It's
Loveless
embarrassing for everybody.
They do this thing where they have Annabelle see Loveless dragging the body of the woman that's just been drained out, and she's like, "Oh my god!" And that just further adds questions to like, what does Annabelle know
hasn't
about?
Seen this every day.
Yeah, what does Annabelle know about any of this stuff? What? Shockingly, a lot is ill-defined in this movie. Believe it or not.
Yes. And I will say, Annabelle is a stealth character because you think, oh, she'll be a weird, sort of. Just like addition, she's going to be a little tone lift every now and then.
Yeah,
she becomes a major character, and she actually kills Dracula.
One could argue she's actually the protagonist of the movie.
Yep.
In a weird way, it's neither Bonnie nor Clyde nor Dracula, but Annabelle, who is the actual
Annabelle show.
It really is. I mean, but she's the one who gets the end. The whole ending is about her escape and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's so crazy. So anyway, Bonnie and Clyde, meanwhile, they go to meet up with Henry, their accomplice.
And again, this is a guy who probably sells cars in the local area.
Martin F. Glynn. You're talking about Martin F. Glynn. Why, this is his one and only credit.
No.
Yeah.
And again, he's not.
Martin F. Glynn.
He's
fine. No one is embarrassingly bad or anything. Yeah. No, that's it exactly. Martin F. Glynn. I just want to see if I can even find anything. Now, if you type
and I
in,
love the way
it's
you
just
can tell that
whoever
was costume designer on this, and that's a big air quote. But I can just like they must have just gone, no, just like a nice shirt.
Yeah,
just have like a nice shirt and some suspenders and a tie. And that'll be period enough.
That's it exactly. It's that kind of thing where it's like, give me just not specific to any time period, right?
Right.
And that'll read as the past.
Cut real short because I thought they Brill creamed and did all that. Oh, don't worry about it.
Yeah. No, and this also does feel like something, once again, that we did a lot of, was just like, why don't you bring a couple shirts of your own and we'll pick which one looks right on the DNA. Yeah. I did that a lot.
I will say, we
don't have a costume budget.
The shirts always look very nicely cleaned and pressed. And I'm like, oh, here's the thing. They would have sweated through all that stuff.
Especially when you think about Bonnie and Clyde have been on the road for weeks and they only have so many outfits. And
then again, if they're packing 45s and airsoft shotguns, then whatever.
Yeah, no. And like this place that they hole up is just kind of nothing. Like, it doesn't read as a period. It's just sort of blank walls that are like... They don't necessarily feel modern, but they don't feel period either. Like I said, this movie is going for...
They use barns for most of the things, including like the whorehouse barn.
They're big on... The big note here is we can't make it look 30s. We're just going to do our best to make it not look overtly modern. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of fields. There's a lot of barns. There's that sort of stuff where you go like, oh, things that would just be in any era, but not specifically 30s. Or, it's
just like, give us something that has walls and nothing to...
Yeah.
Well, actually, the place they end up, where they hole up for the night, looks like someone's sparsely furnished attic.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is it also feels like they're just like empty shelves around where they've just like taken things away. They haven't added; they've just taken away. It's like let's just eliminate anything that's present day. Which is great.
That's it. Yeah,
that's great. So they meet up with Henry, and of course Bonnie's bitching for the. I mean, the whole movie. I did a lot of my notes just like Bonnie complains some more because she's just like, oh, this place is awful. Oh, this food is awful. Oh, this guy's an idiot.
Again, even if you have a decent actor, and she's a decent actor, but it is just
you still need material.
Over and over and over, she just gets the same thing to say over and over and over.
Yep. You
promised me we'd be living big.
she so yes, Henry has this idea for a bank. He goes, I got a bank we can knock over, and I immediately did think, there's no way in hell this movie's gonna have a bank robbery scene.
You were so on top of that. It is absolutely true.
Whatever robbery he's talking about planning, they will not do, because there is no way in it. You're not gonna have Clyde leaping over a counter or some shit in this. Are you kidding me? But they go, yeah. And there's a guy I'm working with who you probably know, Clyde. And this guy walks in, and Clyde puts, I don't know, 40 bullets into him.
Yeah. Oh, this may be the one. Yes. He walks in, and Clyde unloads, and there's no blood, but the guy jerks around as if he's getting shot.
I think this is it. And also, he fires so many rounds from those 45s.
And then after he has killed this person, he goes, "Do me a favor and don't ask what that was about."
And we never.
I have to admit,
we never do find out.
I have to tip my hat to that. That's pretty great.
And we never do find out.
Yeah,
which is
Hey, listen, don't ask.
But I love that, because I also love the idea about so that's just there to establish what cold-blooded killers they are, which hasn't already been established in the 3 other scenes that they've murdered people or.
Right.
No, whatever. It doesn't matter.
It's I think you know this guy.
Yeah.
I do. Bam, 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 bam.
So back to Dr. Lovelace's, where Dracula is now regained enough strength that he's pounding on the door of his cell going, "You have to let me out."
Yeah.
And Lovelace is like, okay. I love people reasoning with Dracula. Okay. I will let you out, but first, all right, just let me. I got a lot to explain, though, so you're gonna get out, but there's a couple. I need you to make a couple of promises to me, Dracula. Yeah, and he goes, "I want to explain."
Work with me, Dracula, not against me.
Yeah,
okay?
I want to explain my reasons, buddy. Okay, and so yes, when they do pull him out of the cell, Annabelle grabs Dracula's arm and it burns him.
Yeah.
Now this is new.
Again, everyone is completely. You can make up your own vampire nonsense.
Yeah?
We see it all the time.
Yeah.
This posits what's funny about this is that the idea that innocence, that pure good, would hurt a vampire instead of it being something that the vampire is drawn to. The corruption idea of nothing's better than virgin blood and innocence. In this case, Dracula and vampires can't handle pure good. It burns them. And so therefore he likes to only feed on wicked people. And you're like, well, that is a take. But man, if anything, though, to most ideas.
That kind of makes Dracula less villainous, though, right?
Yeah.
Because it's actually all right, well, then what do I care?
Only kill guilty people. You're like, well, then you're cool, aren't you?
Yeah, that actually makes him kind of a vigilante character. It's like, okay, that Dracula sounds awesome. Why do we need to stop him?
And Dracula goes, and he goes, "You all right?" He's like, "Yeah, but that girl, she's pure good." And he goes, "That's my sister, and she's a liar and a thief and all that." He goes, "Yes, but they're still at the core. She's the most innocent person of all." And you're like, okay, movie.
And my first thought here was, does he mean, are we going virgin? Is that's what I initially thought was the thing when he's talking about pure innocence, because he keeps saying innocence. And I was like, and he goes, well, she may be a thief, but she's innocent. And that's not where they go. But I thought for a second, I'm like, is this going to go into a weird, unsullied sort of? I mean, it could still be read as that because the movie's vague enough, but maybe that's just where my weird mind went.
Physical purity. This is more about spiritual purity, I think.
And also, it's like,
is a childlike, and that, I mean, in the novel Dracula, of course, he literally brings an infant to his bride.
No, I mean, this is almost in some ways the exact opposite of every Dracula we've met.
The exact opposite of what you would expect.
Yeah, he would want innocent people specifically. Almost.
But the thing I say to myself often when watching these movies for this podcast is, okay, movie.
No, and that's fine.
And that was it, where I just go, okay, movie. That's your rule for this? Okay.
And that's fine if they did anything with it or it mattered in any kind of way. If the rest of the movie was good, sure, but it doesn't.
No.
So let's talk about where this movie gets a little sexy.
You mean the one and only nude scene? Yeah.
Yeah, the one and only nude scene that even in its presentation is like, see that, right? Okay, there we go.
Again, I can only assume because Miss Shepis is, I mean, she's a vet of this kind of movie.
Yeah.
I think she's like, when is it my nude scene?
Yeah. And also, it's like, this is probably less degrading than some of the other stuff I've been in, so, yeah.
Yeah, because literally all it is she's taking a bath, they have another argument, and she stands up naked, basically to go, well, you ain't getting none of this, kind of.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
the entire scene.
That's a more generous... I thought it was just like, all right, and now we need you to stand up because we're trying to sell this movie. You know, it's like, there's really no call for it.
She looks lovely.
Sure.
She is not period nude.
No. No.
How do I dance around that?
Yeah. This movie
She is more hairless than I think any woman alive in the 1920s was, unless they had alopecia.
Well, what we don't know is there's a whole backstory. Bonnie's wearing a wig, actually. No.
Okay.
There was a subplot that got cut.
All right. That would be another take. But regardless, again, I don't know if this would sell a movie. It certainly didn't
I will
sell it
say,
to me.
having talked to people who have made no budget stuff, it is sort of expected that a thing that will help you, you know. I've talked to some people that goes like, well, we had to put some nudity in there because that made it more appealing to video distributors and stuff like that.
Sure.
And you're just like, well, that's awful.
Yeah,
because it's just
it
like...
It becomes a just like, again, obligatory thing. And like I'm sure she showed up going like...
But even the movie is acting like it's obligatory. It's almost... You can almost feel the director going like, true. Do we have enough of that? Okay, great. All right, that's good. That'll help sell it? Perfect.
And it's not a sex scene. It's literally just her standing up
there you go.
In a bathtub.
But we can put nudity as a rating reason, and that will get some people to rent
you know, on IMDb, they do like the trailer when you actually go to the page for the thing. So the trailer makes it look about as good as the movie. In other words, they're not, but the first...
They're not lying to you, but
right. The first time you see someone move instead of a still is her surfacing in the bathtub.
So
literally, it's like, we just want to make sure you see that she's probably going to be naked at some point.
Well, and actually, I will say, when she was sitting in the bathtub, I thought, wow, this movie not having her be naked. Interesting. Oh, okay.
Oh, no, there it is. It is.
I have to stop having that thought. That happens to me all the time, and here I go, wow, not good. Oh, never mind.
So they didn't do the they did the gratuity.
Okay, all right. Okay. And like I said, I'm this is not, but it's just like, no one's excited about this.
At some point, though, because, you know, it all blends together. It's 90 minutes. This thing is bullshit. At some point, I guess the plan that their buddy came up with is, we're going to rob some bootleggers. And
well, because we get the whole scene after this where they talk about, because they have the fight. Clyde goes outside with Henry, and he goes, yeah, man, we're just really strapped for cash, and it's bad news. And then the insane... This is the Tarantino-y sort of thing, where Henry gets this long monologue about a guy getting his balls licked off by a goat.
Oh, man. I actually, when I went on Letterboxd to give this thing the 1 star that I was being far
only too 1 star, Brent.
No. Someone in the reading some of the reviews on Letterboxd, one person goes, I gave it 1 star for the little goat story.
But that feels the most like
long thing,
non sequitur, crude monologue. Is very. I went like, oh, this is very much attempting to do a Tarantino thing, except it's not as well written or performed or really has anything to do with it. Because Clyde, even at the end of it, goes, what the hell does that story have to do with anything? He goes, well, I'm just saying, things could be worse.
Yeah, things could be worse. You could have a goat lick your balls out of the ball sack, essentially. Yeah. And you're like, well,
it's also
horrible.
Cruder than anything else in the movie.
Yeah, it is.
Like, you're just like, what happened here? The rest of the movie is like weird and kind of like gory or gross in places, but it's the only time that you're like, why are we talking about balls in this movie? Like, what is going
Yeah.
on?
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
Wilbur's and balls.
Yeah, because they're even saying That's what I'm talking about. Even saying Wilbur's, even using it. This is the only time when it's like, yeah, I guess Henry's just the crude guy he knows.
And I think that's the case.
Yeah, it's.
We all know one.
But you're like, boy,
we all know a Henry, don't we?
We all know it. But talk about another
him.
thing where it's like, even at 91 minutes, you could still cut this. this thing could still be tightened. I think I could still get 20 minutes out of it.
But they're slapping each other on the back going, that's a scene people are going to remember.
Yeah, that's going to be the thing, because it's like I said, that is sort of that Tarantino thing where it's like, oh, sort of the non sequitur thing that people are going to leave the theater talking about. That goat monologue, man, that's crazy. It's like Tarantino talking about Like a Virgin at the beginning of Reservoir Dogs, man. Mm-hmm. You're like, no, it's not like that at all. That was good dialogue. This is bad dialogue. So anyway, then Clyde goes upstairs and they get all cuddly again, him and Bonnie.
Yeah, I'm glad this two finally worked it
out. Let's talk about Annabelle and her dolls as she makes her plan to leave.
Yeah, she has a doll of her brother and a doll of herself, and it's like she goes through the whole thing. It's like, oh, I hate you, brother, but I don't know how to leave. Well, Annabelle, why don't you just get the key to your shock collar out of his desk? Because after the process, he gets sleepy. And she goes, oh, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, because she has a shock collar. If she tries to leave, it'll shock her. Technology in the early 30s, I have some questions about, but
this is it doesn't matter. It's mad science nonsense.
Yeah.
The scene where we see the process and it's gross.
Yeah, my exact note about the process is Annabelle hooks hoses up to Lovelace's weird body. It does something.
Yep, it does something.
That's it. Weird goo runs out of him. I don't know.
Yep. And then he does go to sleep. Yeah. And then she goes to his desk and she gets distracted by the stuff in the desk. And that, this is not good. But I was like,
he's got the microphone on his desk that she does a whole fake radio show with.
Yeah, she opens the desk. She goes, oh, candy corn. And then, and there's stuff in there. And then there's the microphone. So she starts doing the radio show of the Annabelle show and gets distracted enough that she ruins her chance at escape, and that's kind of funny.
He wakes up. And then now it's time for the moonshine heist, which involves Bonnie. Bonnie being a sexy lady on the road, of course.
There's nothing to the scene, but I love Jim Bob's tiny cowboy hat. There are two bootleggers that they basically, it's like, yes, they pick her up hitchhiking, but then it's like, oh, Clyde's like, you want to pull over here, I'm going to blow your head off, and da-da-da.
Yeah.
So it's like an older, tall, fat guy.
Yeah.
And a young kid who doesn't know when to keep his mouth shut.
Yeah.
And the older, fat guy has the stupidest little cowboy hat on his head. It's not period.
Because it's Texas, baby.
That's made for it's literally something that he goes, no, I'll just show up on set. Don't worry about it. I got my own costume.
I've got a cowboy hat. Don't you worry.
It is, again, Party City. It's a Party City cowboy hat that's too small for his head. And I was laughing all the way through. It's
pretty bad.
I was looking for anything in this movie to enjoy. And I settled on a tiny cowboy hat.
And actually, here we go again. It kind of trying to do, not specific, Tarantino, but like a lot of crime movies, they're trying to do a thing, or Peck and Paw, right? Where they're trying to do a thing where it's like, hey, aren't you that guy? And like, shut up, you don't know. And they're trying to go like fast to build tension of like, oh God, if they figure out, then we're, and then bam, 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 and everybody shoots each other.
Yeah.
It's like, but it's
like, this could have gone a much smoother way and everyone would have been all right.
Yeah.
But instead, it's like the kid just can't let something drop, and that becomes like,
no, I know you from somewhere. No, you don't, man.
Once again, no, you don't. And just do what I said. Put your hands up.
It's one of those. It's one of those things where he understands this director understands the pieces of how one of these scenes is put together, but he's not executing it properly, right? It's
No,
like I understand. It's like this guy says something. There's a close up. We're going. The look on people's faces is building the tension. But you're just like, hey, this is just.
And then you also
awkward.
have the thing of, well, this is what kept occurring to me. Bonnie and Clyde were famous while they were alive.
Yeah.
Nationwide,
Yeah.
They were in the papers.
Right.
So, and they do that in the good movie.
They do it in Highwaymen too. That's a big part of it. Is the reason they bring in the Rangers.
We're recognizing them as
they're making us look bad. Not only are they killing people, but they are flaunting it in the faces that we can't catch them.
But in this movie, literally everywhere they go, no one knows them.
Yeah, I did think it was
the
interesting.
whole thing of like, you don't know who we are. Bonnie and Clyde in real life, by the time they were about to be taken down, we're literally going, you just got robbed by Bonnie and Clyde. They liked being celebrities.
It's the John Mulaney bit about how tough it was to catch criminals. That literally you would go like, you just got held up by Sudsy and the boys, or whatever. Like they would literally announce themselves as they leave. That's right. It's like exactly.
Sudsy and the boys.
I can't remember. It's something like that.
Those guys were notorious.
It's something like that. It's not exact. People know the exact bit, but he has something like that where it's like, get you. He has the whole thing about too, where it's like we just found a whole bunch of the killer's blood, and the cops just go, gross. Basically, if you weren't there at the murder scene, you had a 99% chance of getting away with it. Is this whole bit. True. Great bit. Go watch any Mulaney special instead of this movie. It is interesting that the guy being recognized is the guy from the hotel or whatever, or little wherever they're staying where the guy's making food. That's the guy they recognize, not Bonnie and Clyde.
No, they recognize Jake.
Yeah.
This is a different hefty older guy who runs the
once again a lot of hefty because it's just whoever's around.
That they met at, and there you go.
This guy,
he's the guy.
This guy did a great Willie Loman in a St. Louis dinner theater production.
Probably. The one thing I did appreciate was, okay, so Jake gets shot, and then it's like Bonnie and Clyde have to lay waste to the bootleggers.
Yeah.
Jake refuses to die. That becomes this running thing for a while, and he just keeps cussing at people. And like, God damn, you really won't lay down and die? He's like going, you cocksuckers. So he gets gut shot, and he's just bleeding out every time we see him, and he's still not dying. And I was like, okay, that's
I don't mean to keep bringing Tarantino, but a little Reservoir Dogs. Right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I want Clyde to be going, you're going to be okay.
You're going to be okay.
Yeah. Just watch Reservoir Dogs, people. Just anything is better than this.
That's a good movie.
Hot take. Reservoir Dogs. Very good. Believe it or not. So... Jesus Christ.
It gets my vote.
Yeah. So, and of course, we get the whole thing. Bonnie going, who cares? We don't know this guy. And Clyde is going, we can't just leave him to die. Classic Clyde Barrow, known as such a man with a great heart on him.
In this movie, the whole thing is Bonnie's a sociopath.
Yeah.
And Clyde really is, as one character says, dude, I've never known anyone as pussy whipped as you.
Yeah. Which
it's a weird take on the character.
It's a weird take on that further just adds to why make a Bonnie? Why can't they just be a different outlaw couple in the because then they can't sell the title is why, right?
That's it.
But then they also don't deliver on the title, so this movie's a mess, you guys. Have you figured that out, listeners, that this is kind of a mess?
That you've joined us on an off day.
So anyway, back to Lovelace's place. Dracula is coming to, but he's still weak because, as he says, that whore's blood was diseased. I need good blood. Good blood.
Good blood, but not too good.
Yeah.
Because if it's too good and it's a nice person...
Well, that's because he goes like...
ouch!
He's like, you got to do something about that innocent assistant. Get her away from me. Too innocent. It's making me weak.
Yeah.
And Lovelace's big plan is he goes, oh, don't worry. Just wait a couple days. I got a big dinner party full of a bunch of pieces of shit that you are going to feast on.
Everything about this is just so weird because again, loveless. Let's
Yeah.
say the locals do know him.
Yeah.
Would anyone socialize with a guy with a bag on his head?
It is so weird that actually no one in the movie, other than when Bonnie and Clyde show up, they're weirded out by him. But no one else seems to be weirded out by this guy who wears a bag on his head all the time. There's like, it's Dr. Lovelace, I'll tell you that, man.
I do like his fancy dinner bag.
Yeah.
Because
this is my evening bag.
From a burlap bag to this red silk bag.
Yeah. That's my evening wear bag, for formal events. He has a black one for black tie affairs.
Fuck this dumb movie.
Well, the dinner thing though is another thing where it's like, once again, and that's what I mean. There's it's 90 minutes, so it wears. But I'm saying there is an endearing quality to this movie of like watching people who know movies, but it is like, well, we need to be building to something. Like when I can follow the thought process. So you go, okay, so it's just about Dracula's gonna hold on because he can have this dinner party that he can massacre. But but they're not thinking about like, well, why is he having this? And who are these people? Like the people at the dinner party are, yes, just other townsfolk. I don't think we actually get any identities on them really.
No, we don't. And I will also say
they appear to be mucking
against
of
period.
Yeah,
you have African American folks at that dinner party.
Oh, they don't.
One with shoulder length dreads.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
that would have been
pretty
shocking.
Texas,
pretty shocking. Yeah, but it's another thing where it's like, what am I not going to put my friend Roger in it?
Yeah, and I'm like, good for you, man, and good for Roger.
That's fine. Yeah, but it is.
I want you guys to have fun.
Yeah, but it just begs the question of what are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What is the goal of this movie?
What is this?
So the reason that the movie finally, an hour and 3 minutes into this, comes together is because the old guy has been shot. Bonnie is sent out to look for a doctor.
Yeah,
which is where she ends up at the house of Dr. Lovelace.
There's a guy in town who lives in a mansion as a doctor.
Don't worry, Bonnie. You'll know him right away. He always wears a big sack on his head. That you can't miss him.
Jesus Christ!
Because when she arrives and sees this guy, she's like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
Yeah,
this place
she has an actual reaction that people would have.
Yeah, and his big thing is he goes, "Oh, yeah, no, your friend is hurt. Let me go just get my doctor's things in the other room." And she's like, okay. And this is where I go like, I'm sorry. Instantly, Bonnie's no longer the savvy criminal we've seen up to this point. She just goes, okay, yeah, I'll stand here and wait in this empty room.
I will stand here and wait. And I sure hope Dracula doesn't show up.
Well, too bad he does.
What?
And is he in his... Is this... No, I think it's when he shows up at the dinner that we get him in the full Party City costume, right?
Yes.
Because I think
the party scene.
I think him drinking Bonnie is what fully returns him to...
Yes, he's still...
Because he's like, that's good hooded, bad guy blood.
Yeah, he's in that hooded thing.
Yeah,
and
right, yeah.
They're trying to do something clever where she's looking at herself in the mirror and she goes, ah.
Yeah, and
he's... What's your problem? And then the camera turns around. Oh, he's not in the mirror. But he's right behind her.
It's a fine idea for a shot.
Oh, man, is it good.
It's a fine idea for a shot. You are not the movie to pull this off. I also want to just, while we're talking about that, one of the other big problems with this movie, and I am, firmly a digital filmmaking, person, but this movie is the worst kind of digital filmmaking because it's so flatly shot. Because the digital cameras have gotten good enough that you can low light things and it'll look baseline fine, but there is no cinematography to this movie. Like there is no, other than a couple of some of the weird colors they put in the Mad Doctor's house, there's not really a sense of doing anything to the camera, so everything looks a little too clear.
Yes,
which is always a problem for me.
There's absolutely no atmospherics in this movie.
No, it's not like, especially at this era, you think about like guys like Michael Mann who were using how weird digital photography looked for a stylistic purpose.
I will say, like Michael Mann, however, they do like some colored gels once they're in the house to try to make it look like it's a horror movie or something supernatural. Suddenly, some of the lighting goes theatrical, and you're like, oh.
Which is also weird because the rest of the movie isn't like that. So once again, you're going like, what is happening here? Uh, that's
Apparently,
what I mean.
Loveless just is like, you know what I love?
That's what I'm talking about. It's like
Gel.
you don't get a lot of thought about anybody having conversations about color palettes or
Nope.
mood boards or anything on this movie.
Nope.
No, God forbid. There's just
My mood is bored talking about this movie. Ah!
Okay, yeah. So yeah, she gets bitten, and I will say that kind of surprised me.
Yeah,
I didn't think that
shocking.
was going to happen, especially because I'm like, so Bonnie's been bitten by Dracula. Clyde hasn't even met him yet, so
Nope.
yeah. And now, yeah, Dracula is like, oh yeah, that's the murder of blood I needed, baby.
Yeah, it's like she not a good person.
Yeah.
Delicious blood.
And yes, he Loveless comes out not only in his red sack, but he's also wearing like an all-white suit where he's like, well, we're ready for the dinner party. I've put on my best formal wear.
He's literally wearing a tuxedo and a red silk bag.
Yeah, yeah. And so, let's see. So Loveless, Loveless is hosting a strange dinner party. He's like, oh, but it's time you all met the guest of honor. Big reveal. Doors open. Party City Dracula, folks.
It's oh god.
I gotta find a picture of this for the
never,
social media.
Not trying to sell.
No, it's not.
Dracula, fear me. But it's a tall, skinny guy of the Friend family.
Yeah.
Russell, I guess, and he's
of the St. Louis Friends.
He's got a Party City stringy black wig on.
And then
that he's trying to peer out from, like, look how menacing I am.
No, he's game. Everybody's game in this movie.
He's got a cheap Dracula cape on with the big collar, and he's got literally. I know people. My senior prom was in 1988 because I'm old, and there's not a single tuxedo that I saw in the 1988 senior prom that looked as bad as this. This is the cheapest looking red velvet vest and red bow tie, and I'm like, God, this looks awful.
Can I say Mike Gergoni, friend of the show, went to our prom in his dad's tuxedo. So Mike Gergoni in the mid 2000s was rocking a very 70s tux at our
I mean, you can do that, and you can do that in a sort of winking, ironic way. Like, I know I decided to wear the cheesiest old style thing. Yeah, this isn't cheesy old. This is and it's looks like they spent $12.
He's got the like scar. He doesn't have the full like amulet sort of thing, but he's got the fabric coming over his shirt where it would go to the amulet sort of thing.
Sure.
But it's what I'm gonna say is
he's got a bow tie, and
but it's so vividly red that it's once again it's that costumey sort of thing. There's no sense that anyone would wear that. Yeah,
it is.
They went to the Rite Aid and bought
a plastic bag at Spirit, and it said adult male vampire costume is what it said.
Hey, we sprung for the deluxe Dracula costume though.
They sure did. They spent $25.
I remember that as a kid so much, going, can I please get the deluxe one though? I don't want just Batman, I want deluxe Batman.
I want the one that has actual batarangs attached to it.
I just remember that my dad always being like, no. Yeah. I don't. My Spider-Man costume. My Spider-Man costume did not have web shooters. Sadly, it was still pretty.
I
cool,
knew
though.
This would touch on some uncomfortable.
It was still pretty cool. That was my favorite of my childhood Halloween costumes. The Spider-Man costume was still pretty cool.
I never had.
Because it was, it's simple. It's a bodysuit and a mask, right? I mean, like, there were things I would have wanted to. Anyway. Anything not to talk about this movie. So anyway, also standing next to Dracula is now vampired, vampirized Bonnie, who's now his thrall, I guess. Because this movie firmly sticks with bitten, turned.
Yes. Because Clyde comes in and he's like, what's going on? And he goes, Dracula, it basically says, oh, you're with her. Yeah, well, she's mine now. And he was like, "No, say it ain't so, Bonnie." And she's got sexy bloody mouth.
Yeah. Are you kidding me, Clyde? You can't compete with Party City Dracula.
Yeah,
no one can.
Dracula's like going, now that I'm fully awake, and Logie, because of all the blood I've drank, he's literally like, I am so stuffed.
Yeah.
He goes.
Well, I did kind of think about that. It's like, so then he just. This Dracula not good at maintaining a food supply, right? He just tore through these people.
Not good at being Dracula. But basically, he goes, yeah, you're not going to be able to defeat me. And Clyde's like, well, you're just one dude. He goes, nuh-uh. Yeah. And Dracula does a gesture with his hand where he just goes, get up with his hand.
That's new.
And all the people around the dinner table that have been drained are just now up as vampires.
That's new.
Quickest,
because we've seen, Dracula turn people and them sort of be his thralls, but not to the point that he's like literally like puppeteering them.
Yeah, like get up, and they're like, yes, sir.
And they are really. It's interesting because they have a thing where Clyde does shoot at him with that totally fake shotgun, and it's a talk about another bad after effect. Dracula turning into mist right before the buckshot hits the wall. But clearly these they're more zombie-like because they go down with bullets.
They sure do.
Dracula you can't shoot with bullets, but all the other people, they just gun them down, no problem.
There's not. I'll say this, and I'm trying not to be mean. There seems to be a lack of consistency. In this film.
Well, there's just once again there appears to be no more thought than let's make a movie, right? Like there's no, it's just like, this will be fun. You have a Dracula costume. You have an old car. Great. Meanwhile, while this is all happening, Annabelle is using this as a distraction so she can actually get the keys and unlock her collar, which she does before putting, and this made me very happy, all of her belongings into a bindle.
Yep.
I love a bindle.
And this is again a childlike bindle because the rod is like her curtain rod, and and adorably she's like, "What do I take?" Well, I'll definitely need my jar full of marbles. So she's putting stuff in there that a kid would take, and this is all she's like, kind of talking to herself, and it's like, he's a stinky brother anyway. He was always mean to me and da-da-da. Yeah. And Loveless is still alive and human at this point, kind of, and he's like, where are you, Annabelle? He's not too concerned about Dracula's rampage or Bonnie and Clyde.
Now the guns are going off and blood is spurting, and he's like, where's Annabelle at?
Yeah, and so he's doing the like, where are you? And she's getting ready to go. She's creeping out with the bindle. Yeah. She happens to be creeping through the massacre scene.
Once again. And also, once again, unlimited ammo for Bonnie and Clyde. Oh, yeah, because, by the way, Bonnie pretty quickly goes back with Clyde, even though she's a vampire. There's really
Well, I mean, that's the slight, them tying it together, where earlier it's like, come hell or high water, we're together. It doesn't matter. So yes, he during the things looking at her, and she's very vampire-y, but goes, "Are you still with me, or are you with one of them?" And she it's like is she? Will she? And she just goes, "I'll never be one of them." Yeah. And she starts teaming up with Clyde to take him down. Yeah. And Dracula is literally just sitting down and says like, "Oof, boy," and he says, "I couldn't eat another bite." I mean, literally, that's like the gag.
Stuffed. Yeah.
Yeah.
No pie for me. No coffee or dessert. Can't. No room.
And Annabelle, so innocently, like a sweet angel, her bindle thing catches the the curtain.
Now hold on though, because because Dracula's not sitting at this point. Dracula's doing something equally not Dracula. He is attempting to choke Clyde to death.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which is, I've watched him do it, I'm going, that's a weird Dracula move, going, again, I hate you so much.
He doesn't want to
choke the life out of you.
Yeah, he's going to choke him to death.
But like that leads to like, does he have strength? Because I feel like if Dracula's not going to bite someone, he's like a neck breaker kind of guy, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
And plus,
or throat cutter. Just,
I can't imagine he wants to waste a lot of time.
So and it's taken a while. It's taken a while to choke this guy. So once again, I have more questions about his strength, that he's like really struggling to choke this. This is not a good dress. And then, yes, Annabelle opens up the curtain.
Pulls the curtain back. Sunlight comes in because, again, we have, as we've often seen, a vampire who's really not good with time.
Well, what time was the dinner party at? And how much time has passed?
Well, they did make a comment about, well, it is a highly irregular time for a dinner party.
And by that, you mean 4 a.m.? Like, what?
I mean, yes, I'm thinking like at most that could have been like midnight.
Yeah. I know.
So, no, this doesn't make sense because the sunlight that comes in is clearly like 8 or 9 in the morning sunlight, not dawn. And then Dracula
dinner party at 6 a.m.? What's wrong with you?
Dracula digitally animatedly turns into a skeleton.
He goes up faster than I think we've ever seen a Dracula go up. When that sunlight hits him, and he is toast.
And I have to say, yet again, that was after perhaps 5 to 6 lines of dialogue.
Yeah. It is just, once again, it is just so weird that you would sit down to write a movie and go, okay, it's Bonnie and Clyde versus Dracula. Let's write a lot about a mad scientist character we made. Wait a minute, what?
His adorable child.
It's just so counterintuitive. This is not the movie. I mean, once again, small things again. I will give them. This is not the movie I expected when I pushed play on Bonnie and Clyde versus Dracula.
It wasn't ticking off the boxes you were expecting it to tick off.
If your barometer for interesting movies is just doing things you don't expect, well, this movie, by God, does not go anywhere I thought it would, really. So, So anyway, and then of course Annabelle walks out the door, and all the vampires stop fighting, and they can't touch her because she's so innocent. So she just walks out the.
Her escape plan is the only way I can get out of the house, which is weird, especially with a house this big.
Yep.
Is I can only walk through the main hallway, and it's full of vampires, but because she's so innocent, they can't deal. So they all just part for her as she
This movie's
walks
just
through.
like, who's awesome? My sister. She's really awesome. I should make a movie about how she's so awesome that the undead is afraid of her.
The undead can't even. So they just watch her leave.
Yeah.
And then she walks out into a brilliant sun.
She walks out into a brilliant sunrise. Now, it was a full sun in the sky, and then all of a sudden, it's just rising.
Yeah.
What?
And there are so many parts, because we're at the end of the movie, essentially. There's so many parts where you're like going, this is how it'll wrap up.
Yes.
You could see it wrap up with Bonnie and Clyde, where Clyde's like, well, this is unexpected, but we're together forever. I'm going to take care of you. That could have wrapped them up.
Yep.
If you wanted to end with Annabelle hopefully walking into a sunrise with her bindle, great. But we keep getting extra scenes. We keep getting a scene
That's a Return of the King all over again.
We get Clyde finding a young apple selling victim.
Well, first off, we got it. Very quickly, we see Lovelace's bag get ripped off his head.
Oh, right.
And then Clyde just shoots him.
That's the other thing, is that yes, we see him under the bag, and Annabelle, as part of her escape,
put the shock collar on him.
She put the shock collar on him.
Yeah.
We didn't see that, but it's supposedly a great psych out moment because he's like going, "You're so disobedient," and he takes out the dial and he's dialing it all the way up. It's like, "I'm just gonna kill you because you've always been a drag on me."
Because I thought this was the fitting end for this guy, was that then this would kill him.
He turns the dial up, and she goes, you don't want to do that. And he's like going, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to kill you. And then she goes, no, you don't want to do that because I put the collar on your ankle. And he goes, and like, too late. And he gets
I thought that was the end of him. I thought, okay, there's his death.
But again, this movie decided that
it needs a little bit more
ends. Yeah. You need more ends.
Yeah, the problem is too many movies just have one ending. That's been the big problem with cinema.
That's true. But yes, that's right before Annabelle leaves and walks to the sunrise.
And I thought he was dead at that, but then no, he rises up with the bag off and Clyde shoots him.
Yeah.
Even though
He's
isn't
kinda,
the more fitting, like satisfying narrative ending is he's hoisted by his own petard, trying to once more abuse his lovable sister.
Yeah.
Nope. No.
Whatevs.
Because literally, him rising up with the bag off, we see it for like a split second. I couldn't even. He just had sort of a weird face. Like you barely even see it, really.
Yeah, you barely even see it, and it seems a little bit like Bobo Chunk, not Chunk, Sloth.
Sloth love chunk.
Yeah,
but
Sloth love chunk. That's right.
Yeah, and then he comes in, he's like, ah, and Clyde just goes bang, 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 and he's dead. And you're like, oh,
Yep.
Great.
Dunzo.
Perfect. More bad gun effects. Perfect. Yeah, so she goes she walks. I thought that was the end of her too. She walks off into the sunrise, and then later it cuts back to her sitting looking at the sunrise, and
a cute dog comes around.
A cute little doggy. Whose doggy is this, by the way?
She's like, hey, doggy, you want to come with me?
It is such a, like, domesticated dog. It's not a dog that would just be wandering it's a cute little, like, Shih Tzu or whatever, little fluffy thing. It's like someone's dog.
Why is this included? Because then she gets up and starts walking again. Now she has a dog friend, and you're like, okay, are we finally done with Annabelle's hopeful ending? Now she's got a dog.
She's got a dog.
And again, you keep going like, so that's the end, right?
Yeah,
that's the end.
No, Clyde, we gotta have. Clyde's like, let's get out of here, Bonnie. She's like, no, I can't go out there because of the sun.
Can't go in the sun.
And so he's like, oh, here, and he drapes a tablecloth over her, and it's very near dark, and runs her out of the place there. And then, yes, a bizarre moment where I'm like, okay, well, there's your ending. They're just going to drive off together. Perfect. Nope. Instead, he's got to pull up next to, a cute girl selling apples on the side of the road. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. And then he comes back to a barn that he's hidden Bonnie in because it's all shadowy in there.
Yep.
With the apple, and she goes, I can't eat that. I can't eat this.
Yeah, he's like, I brought some lunch, and she looks at the basket of apples that the girl had, and he goes, oh, no, these are for me.
Yeah.
This is for you, and gives her the girl.
Yeah.
And then you hear really cartoonish slurping noises as she's feeding.
And the movie ends on Clyde outside of the barn looking like, dear God, this is life now. Like, the movie tries to end with this, like, bleak, weird thing where he's like, so this is what it's become.
And I was shaken by it. That was so
powerful. Further weird choice to then go, pop art credits.
Yeah, now
we're in, like, Inglorious Bastards. Like, yeah!
It's true. They go into a rocking score where the whole thing has been just sort of like generic horror movie score, then the one period-esque song, and now we've got down.
Now we're in now we're in like Rodriguez Grindhouse, man. Directed by Eli Roth, like
it makes about as much sense as any of the
I love
instincts.
You know what? I love a movie that even in its closing credits makes me question its weird tone shifts.
Yeah.
What is happening in this movie?
This movie, like I said, has no idea what it wants to be.
No, I will say I didn't hate. It's terrible, but I didn't hate it like some of them because it didn't fill me with rage as much as a lot of. You know what I mean? Because it's an innocent movie in that way. It does feel like people going, I don't know, this would be kind of fun to do this, and then they're bumbling their way through. Once again, don't recommend it. Don't watch it. It's terrible. However, like I said, there are much more the cynical ones, the ones where no one's trying.
We have seen much worse on this podcast.
And like I said, the ones where it's like nobody even seems to care. That feeling really like angers me watching it. This one I was more just like, oh, what? Like that was more my reaction. Hey boy. All right. Well, that's Bonnie and Clyde versus Dracula.
Yeah.
The showdown we were all waiting for, and you know what? Still are actually. Still am waiting for that. We're still waiting. Still waiting for that showdown, folks. Brandon, I think we've had a rough go of it as often as on the show. I think it's time. Maybe what do you say we just leave America? Let's just get out of the country for a while.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
maybe.
could do that. I could do that.
Yeah, maybe get some other. Maybe get some Nordic vampires going in here.
What?
Because next week on the show, boy, this is going to be a palate cleanser. We have a little film called Let the Right One In. A
Yay!
very, very good movie. Spoilers for our take on that.
Very good movie.
An extremely good movie.
Again, I don't think anyone that is
A
listening
great
to this
movie.
podcast
It's
is not
based on
aware
it.
of it.
If those have read the novel, also it's great.
I've never read it.
It's great.
No.
Great book too. And spoiler for an even more future episode. Great American remake too. Actually, weirdly,
One of the rare ones where you get a good remake.
it really did work. So we're gonna be a lot happier, I think, on next week's episode when we talk about Let the Right One In. But
Yay!
that is going to do it for this week's episode of Campbell and Jones Meet the Monsters. I'm John Campbell.
I'm Brendan Jones.
And remember, there are such things as monsters.
And make sure you protect your Wilburs.